Does anyone like to ski? Just curious, just seemingly random question. Yes? Did anyone go skiing in their neighborhood yesterday? We have a mountain here that you could ski on, I suppose, but we're going to call this the MTEL mountain. Now, at the tippity top of the mountain is a perfect score of 300. And that would be like getting 100%. And nobody needs to climb to the top of the mountain. Okay, no one does that. But you only need to go to sort of this point here to the 240. Is that right? And that's about 80%. Okay. Now, there are teachers in this group. Some of you might want to go to the 300. That's no problem. But I'm saying that you only need to climb up about 80% of this mountain to pass it. That's this test that you're taking. Now, look, there are teachers in different ranges here. And these ranges are important. There are teachers in the 230s. There's teachers in the 220s. There's teachers in 200. There's teachers at 110 and the 150s. Okay? Who falls into one of those categories? Probably, most likely, anyone that's taken it and didn't pass has. This group of teachers is very surprising. This group of teachers below 200, they tend to make the biggest jumps up. They're the teachers that go up 20, 30, 40 points when they retest. Because because they know that they're at the bottom of the mountain and they have a lot of work to do. And they really do a lot of work. They are doing it. They do it. Now, they don't necessarily, even if you go up 40 points, right? If you're at 180 and you go up 40 points, you only land at 220. But that is a giant jump. Would you agree? 40 points up, mega jump. And this teacher has persistence where they know that they got to pick themselves up and push onwards. You know, that's just how they are. They know that they went up and then they dust it off and they keep on climbing the mountain. And they will pass it. Now let's look at this group of teachers here. Now this group of teachers like a 239. Anyone ever got a 239 before? And look, I'm generalizing, so I'm not saying these comments personally to you, but I'm just trying to give a mindset here, okay? This is heartbreaking. Who hears me? 238. Right? It's the worst. And it's so much the worst that you're like, you know what? I don't even like skiing. I don't even want to, you know what I mean? You're like, I don't like it. And it's the worst. And so rather than smiling all the way up, which I don't think anyone really is, but rather than approaching it like that, it's the worst. And so when I suggest things, hey, you got to read through your packet. You got to go through those terms. I'll write down packet, terms, practice exams. This teacher here might say, listen closely, I know everything in the packet. There's nothing that Chris is saying that I don't know. The terms, I got it. I studied them before, and the practice tests, I did them before, okay? And the problem is they're going to get stuck. You need to be able to, in the 230s, you need to be able to go back, and you need to be able to go back, and you need to be able to look at it with fresh eyes. Who hears me there? Being able to approach things with fresh eyes, right? Not cynical eyes. Cynical eyes sounds like a song. Okay? This is hard. This is a hard thing, but this is a good thing for everyone to do. I was talking, Deidre, are you in the room? I was talking to a teacher who took the classes 2 years ago. And she was a new teacher 2 years ago. She was going to the live classes. And she called up over the phone. She needed help, getting into a school. And it was just before the pandemic. And then the pandemic hit. I didn't hear from her. She was able to get into a school. But in the course of, I heard back from her. And I could tell that in the last 18 months, it had been tough for her, right? And it had been very, very tough in the school. And I said to her, you know, if your school isn't appreciating you, you should find another school. You can't, because you can't get beat up and feel cynical. You can't, as a teacher, you have to constantly renew yourself. Yes? Who hears me? You have, especially with early childhood, you have to constantly, you know, you have the best. You're given the best students, okay? And every year you've got to put the best into them. You can't get beat down. And if the school is beating you down, you honestly have to find a new school that supports you, right? So that's what you have to be here, okay? You have to sort of go back to all this with fresh eyes, new eyes, not beat down. You have to go back to the packets. Maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something important. The terms, maybe there's an idea there. Maybe that term, that concept is what you're going to write your essay about. And maybe that's going to be the key if you look closer. Or the practice exams. Maybe there's something that you missed. If you can do that, that will be the hardest thing for this group, but they'll be able to go up. And don't settle for 1 or 2 points. Don't be like that. You have to be like this teacher who's hungry, who wants the 40 or the 30 points or the 50 points. They're really hungry. They have got a big appetite. Don't settle for 1 to 2. Give thumbs up. So there's the 2 group. We got this group here. We got that group there. And we got one more group. And this is a group I'm going to talk to now. We got the group in the 220s and the 200s. Who falls into that group? So I'm going to give you the advice, teachers that are here and teachers that are here. I'm going to give you, I want you to do what I'm going to ask this middle group to do. Teachers that are in the 220s, okay? Anywhere from 220, anywhere in the 220s. So that, I guess that would be, you know, 229 to that range right there, okay? 227, you're in that range, okay? So let me clarify that. Anywhere from 229 to 200. You're not quite there yet. All right. I'm going to pull up packet 1. And this is I think a really practical thing that you could do. Let me go to packet 1 real quick. I'm glad that we're taking a little time on this because we didn't get to do this yesterday. And it's important that we do. Everyone in this group here, everyone in this group desperately wants to pass this. Is that correct? Do I have that right? You want to pass. You don't want to fail. But what you need to do, you need to, rather than wanting something, which is very passive, right? I want $1 million. I want to drive this car, or I want to have this, that. Wanting is very passive. What you need to do, look at this team right here. Does anyone recognize this team? It's the 2019 Women's World Cup Championship team. Who's ever won a game? Who knows what it's like to win? Who knows what that's like? You can look at this picture, right? You can see it in their eyes, right? You see it? The feeling of wanting to win. But to win, they had to play to win, right? They had to make this whole thing a game, which it is a game. And they had to go for it. And they had to do, there's a do here, do a lot of stuff. Would you agree? I mean, this is very opposite from wanting, okay, to win. When we watch a football game or a soccer game, we want them to win. But playing to win, actually in the game and playing, is very, very different. So you had to think of this as a very active, this test as an active sport. So I'm going to give you some things that we didn't talk about yesterday that I think we should talk about. Things that you need to do to pass, because, hey, you don't want to be the teacher that's stuck in the 230s. You don't want to stay below 200 for long. And this group right here, you need to win this. Would you agree? You want to win. You don't want to take this again, Can I get a yes there? We all want to get to the 240 and win. So let's just be honest here and talk about the things that you have to do.